नमस्कार, गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड डे टू एवरीबॉडी। दिस इज सूरज सिंह। मैं हूँ सूरज सिंह, सिविल इंजीनियर भारत, चार्टर्ड इंजीनियर, प्रोफेशनल इंजीनियर, इंटरनेशनल इंजीनियर फ्रॉम फरीदाबाद, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया, भारत के संविधान। अगेन वही बात, वी हैव टू नो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम एवरी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। इफ यू डोंट नो दिस मींस यू मिस समथिंग। दिस इज भारत का संविधान। भारत का संविधान भारत के लोगों के लिए, भारत के हर व्यक्ति के लिए, भारत के हर नागरिक के लिए। इसको भारत से प्यार होना चाहिए, भारत से अफेक्शन होना चाहिए, भारत की इज्जत करना चाहिए। भारत का संविधान एक ऐसा ग्रंथ जो सब पर लागू होता है, किसी धर्म पर नहीं या व्यक्ति पर लागू होता है। This applies to each and every citizen of this country and very significant and only document in India, which is legal statutory number one document of all documents in this country, and this is applicable to each and every citizen of this country and cannot be condemned. Because one condemns is against society, against nation, and against law. And who recognizes this, follows this, is called law-abiding citizen. Because without this document, you have no right to passport, you have no right to document, you have no right to citizenship, and whatever you can say. This document is your boss, this document is your career, this document is your everything is document, and you cannot say that I don't require this. This is our country, and before going further, I would like to say that we have to understand what we are. It's not only that we have to understand, we have to clearly understand what we are, and that is very important. And our Savidhaan, our constitution says that we, people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens. Again, I say, we, people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India, Bharat, into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring dignity of individual and unity and integrity of nation. On this day, November 26, 1949, in our Constituent Assembly, we do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. हम भारत के लोग, इंडिया के लोग विश्वास से, निष्ठा से ये फैसला करते हैं, इस फैसले पर कि हम भारत को गठित करते हैं, इंडिया को गठित करते हैं एक ऐसे राष्ट्र में जो प्रभु सत्ता संपन्न हो, जो सामाजिक पे चलता हो, समाज पे चलता हो, समाजवाद पे चलता हो, जो पंथ निरपेक्ष हो, सब धर्मों को मानने वाला हो, सब समाज के सेक्शनों को मानने वाला हो, जो डेमोक्रेटिक हो, लोकतांत्रिक हो, जो गणतांत्रिक हो। और इसी को देने के लिए, इसी की गारंटी देने के लिए, इसी की सिक्योरिटी देने के लिए हम अपने भारत के हर नागरिक को देते हैं, विश्वास देते हैं कि उसको जस्टिस मिलेगी, न्याय मिलेगा, सामाजिक न्याय, आर्थिक न्याय, राजनीतिक न्याय, उसको मिलेगी स्वतंत्रता, उसको मिलेगी लिबर्टी, उसको मिलेगी विचारों की स्वतंत्रता, बोलने की स्वतंत्रता, लिखने की स्वतंत्रता, विश्वसनीयता की स्वतंत्रता, स्वामी भक्ति की स्वतंत्रता, वर्शिप की स्वतंत्रता, पूजा पाठ की स्वतंत्रता, नमाज पढ़ने की स्वतंत्रता, मंत्र पढ़ने की स्वतंत्रता, हर चीज की, ग्रंथों को पढ़ने की स्वतंत्रता, जो भी आप चाहें पढ़ें, कोई रुकावट नहीं, जब तक कि आपका ये ग्रंथ, आपके ये जो पढ़ते हैं धार्मिक चीजें किसी दूसरे को नुकसान ना दे। इक्वालिटी ऑफ स्टेटस एंड अपॉर्चुनिटी, बराबरी मिलेगी आपको पदों की, किसी भी पद को आप चाहें देश में वो आपको मिलेगा, किसी भी क्षेत्र में, चाहे प्राइवेट क्षेत्र हो या सरकारी क्षेत्र हो, और आपको अवसर मिलेंगे, अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगी, मौका मिलेगा आगे बढ़ने के लिए, कोई रोक नहीं सकता है यदि आपके अंदर वो कॉम्पिटेंसी है, वो काबिलियत है, वो हैसियत है। एंड टू प्रमोट अमंग देम ऑल, और उन सब में हमको प्रगति देनी है, बढ़ावा देना है, बढ़ाना है कि आप सब आगे बढ़िए भाईचारे के साथ, फ्रेटर्निटी के साथ। हर हर व्यक्ति की इस देश में इज्जत है, सम्मान है, मान है, और इस देश को एक रखने के लिए, अखंड रखने के लिए भारत को हमें ये बढ़ावा देना पड़ेगा। आज तो 26 नवंबर 1949 को हम संवैधानिक सभा में इस विश्वास को, इस भारत माता की हैसियत को, इस वंदे मातरम की शक्ति को हम स्वीकार करते हैं, अपनाते हैं, नियमित करते हैं, और इसे हम स्वयं को समर्पित करते हैं। एंड ये है भारत का प्रीएम्बल। प्रीएम्बल का एक और मतलब भी होता है, एम यहाँ लिखा है, प्रीएम्बल, एम्बल मान लीजिए अम्बे माता को भी कहते हैं। तो ये हमारी माता की शक्ति पहले है। संविधान, भारत का संविधान, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को अब माता मानना पड़ेगा आपको। और प्रेमबल इसलिए कहा गया है कि माता का जो पहला है कवर, इसके अंदर क्या दिया गया है, इसी को हम कहते हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया, भारत का संविधान और भारत माता। दिस मीन्स वी कैन डिफाइन व्हाट इज भारत माता। भारत माता इज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया, भारत माता इज भारत का संविधान, भारत माता इज preamble, which means this is preset to M, and M is mother, and mother is constitution of India. This means this preamble is a structure that covers over, that rules over all conditions within Constitution of India, and all conditions, in fact you can say that's an integrated part of this country, that's an integrated understanding of this country, that's an understanding undertaking of this country, and that's the under law of this country, means that applies to each and every citizen who is born here or who lives here. This Constitution of India, Bharat Mata ki Jai. Constitution of India, it is called Bharat Mata ka Savidhan. You may say this, otherwise there is no other way out. Don't imagine there is Bharat Mata, this is Bharat Mata, this document is Bharat Mata, this preamble is structure of Bharat Mata, that we have to understand very well. It's called, just to understand how it is, I'm explaining to you, means it's up to you how you take it, but my consideration is this, that we have to consider this Savidhan like Bharat Mata, because practically speaking, Mata means land, but this is more than land. And now we have to understand what is Constitution of India, duties of every citizen, fundamental duties. You can say you have to do that, you are bound to do that, because you are a citizen of this country, and that's part 4A of Constitution of India. I am just trying to explain again, because this is very important, and without this you cannot call yourself that you are citizen of this country. And Article 51A states that फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज ऑफ सिटीजन, भारत के एक नागरिक की मूल ड्यूटी क्या है, मूल कर्म क्या है, ड्यूटी को क्या कह सकते हैं आप, मूल दायित्व क्या है, उसका उत्तरदायित्व क्या है। इट शैल बी ड्यूटी ऑफ एवरी सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया टू अबाइड बाय कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, टू रिस्पेक्ट इट्स आइडियल्स, इट्स इंस्टीट्यूशंस, इट्स नेशनल फ्लैग एंड इट्स नेशनल एंथम, to cherish and follow noble ideals, which inspired our national struggle for freedom, to uphold and protect sovereignty, unity and integrity of India, to defend harmony and spirit of brotherhood amongst all people of India, transcending religious, linguistic, and original or sectional diversity, to renounce practice derogatory to dignity of women, to value and preserve rich heritage of our culture, to protect and improve natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers, and wildlife, and to have compassion for living creatures, to develop scientific temper, humanism, and spirit of inquiry and reform, to safeguard public property and to abjure violence, to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity, so that nation constantly rises to higher level of endeavor and achievement, who is the parent of guardian, to provide opportunities for each, for education to his child, as case may be, towards between age 6 and 14 years. हम भारत का सिटीजन होने के नाते हमारा ये कर्तव्य बनता है कि हम इन बातों का ध्यान रखें और करें, खाली ध्यान रखें तो करें भी। वो क्या बातें हैं? हम कह सकते हैं भारत के संविधान के आर्टिकल 51 मूल ड्यूटीज, मूल कर्तव्य एक नागरिक की जो होने चाहिए, हर नागरिक की ये ड्यूटी है, होगी कि भारत का सिटीजन है वो, इसी नाते वो भारत के संविधान को मानना पड़ेगा, माने, इसकी इज्जत करे, इसके अंदर जो छुपा है, जो शक्ति है, जो आइडियाज हैं, उनकी रिस्पेक्ट करे, मान सम्मान करे, इसके जो संस्थाएं हैं उनकी इज्जत करे, उनका मान दे, अदा दे, भारत के झंडे को ऑनर, भारत के राष्ट्र गीत को ऑनर करे, गान को ऑनर करे। हमारे जो नोबल्स आइडियाज हैं जिनके वजह से हमने आज़ादी ली, जिनको पीछे बैठ में थे, जिनकी हमारी आत्माओं ने जाना, हमको शक्ति मिली उस संघर्ष करने के लिए, स्वतंत्रता के संघर्ष करने के लिए, उनको माने, उनको चमकाएं, उनको समझें, उनकी वैल्यू बढ़ाएं और अपने देश की प्रभुसत्ता को रखने के लिए, बचाने के लिए, ऊंचाई पर रखने के लिए, देश की एकता को, अखंडता को रखने के लिए हम सर उठा के रखें, हमारे देश को बचाएं, जरूरत पड़ने पे अपने आप को समर्पित करें राष्ट्र की सेवा में, जब भी आवश्यकता पड़े तो करना हो तो मना ना करें, ये सोच के रहना होगा। शांति बनाए रखें देश में और भाईचारे की फार्मूले को लगाएं, सभी लोगों के अंदर भाईचारा बढ़ाएं, बिना ये सोचे कि कौन किस धर्म का है, किस पंथ का है, कौन किस सेक्ट का है, कौन किस भाषा का है, कौन किस क्षेत्र का है, कौन कौन से समाज में रहता है। और हम ऐसे गंद को जो औरत के खिलाफ जाती है, महिला के खिलाफ जाती है, उसको फेंक दें, उसको कैंसिल करें, उसकी बेइज्जती करें, ऐसी बात की जो किसी भी भारत की महिला के खिलाफ उसके अपोजिशन में जाए। और वैल्यू दें हम अपने देश की संस्कृति को जो हजारों साल से चली आ रही है, किसी भी चीज़ की, किसी भी क्षेत्र की, किसी भी धर्म की, किसी भी जाति की, किसी की भी वैल्यू, किसी की कल्चर, हमको उसको रखना होगा। और हमारे देश का वातावरण, हमारे देश को जो प्राकृतिक सुविधाएं हैं, प्राकृतिक वैल्यूज हैं, प्राकृतिक शक्तियाँ हमारे पास हैं, उनकी रक्षा करें, उनको बना के रखें, उनको सुधारें, हमारे जंगलों को सुधारें, काटे नहीं, हमारी झीलों को सुधारें, हमारी नदियों को सुधारें, खराब ना करें, अपवित्र ना करें, हमारी जो जंगली शक्तियाँ है, जंगला जीवन है, उसको बना के रखें और हर प्राणी के साथ हम शराफत से पेश आएँ, प्यार से पेश आएँ और ऐसा ना करें कि उस क्रिएचर को, उस प्राणी को मार दें या कुछ नुकसान करें। विज्ञान को आगे बढ़ाएं, विज्ञान की शक्ति को आगे बढ़ाएं, विज्ञान को समझें, उसको विकास करें, उसके अंदर इंसानियत न बाहर आए, विज्ञान को इंसानियत पे लगाएं, सोचें कि हम इसको किस तरह से इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं अपने ऊपर, किस तरह से इसका सुधार कर सकते हैं। भारत के देश की सार्वजनिक संपत्ति का नुकसान ना करें, उसका देखभाल करें, उसको सही रखें, सिक्योर रखें और किसी भी प्रकार की हिंसा को ना होने दें, ना करें और उस तरफ बढ़े जहाँ सब कुछ परफेक्ट हो, एक्सेलेंट हो, रहे हर फील्ड में, हर क्षेत्र में, इंडिविजुअल की हैसियत से, एक आदमी की हैसियत से या एक ग्रुप की हैसियत से या पूरे स्टेट या हर देश की कलेक्टिव रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी की हैसियत से, कलेक्टिव एक्टिविटी की हैसियत से, जिससे कि हमारा राष्ट्र लगातार ऊंचा उठता रहे, ऊंचे लेवल पे, ऊंचे तल पे जाता रहे, अपनी शक्ति के साथ अपने जो भी डेस्टिनी मिले, जो भी वो विकास प्राप्त कर सके, जो भी साइंस को आगे बढ़ा सके। और जो भी माँ बाप हैं, गार्जियन हैं, अभिभावक हैं, अपने बच्चों की शिक्षा पे ध्यान दें और 6 से 14 वर्ष तक की शिक्षा पे अवश्य ध्यान दें। ये बहुत ज़रूरी है हमें जानना, करना, सोचना। ये भारत का जो संविधान कहता है प्रियम्बल्स में और हमारे फंडामेंटल राइट्स कहते हैं, ये हमारी फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज़ कहती हैं, हमको ये जानना बहुत ज़रूरी है। इसको हम नहीं जानेंगे तो हम देश को नहीं समझेंगे। हम खाली बोलते रहें कि देश ने हमें क्या दिया, हम देश में ऐसा क्यों सोचें, हम सोचें देश ने आपको, आप जिस देश में पैदा हुए हैं, देश ने आपको पाला है, देश की हर सुविधा को आप प्रयोग में ला रहे हैं। पहले आप इस चीज़ को समझ लीजिए, जब आप पैदा हुए थे तो कहाँ पैदा हुए थे? इस देश के किसी कमरे में, किसी मकान में, किसी छोटे मकान या बड़े मकान में, किसी झुग्गी में या बिना झुग्गी सही फुटपाथ पे कहीं तो आप पैदा हुए होंगे। तो वो भी तो देश ही है। आप कोई आसमान में तो पैदा नहीं हुए, आप कोई जाकर किसी समुद्र के बीच में तो पैदा नहीं हुए, आप भारत देश में पैदा हुए हैं, तो आपको भारत देश को मानना पड़ेगा, भारत देश के संविधान को मानना पड़ेगा, भारत के कर्तव्यों को मानना पड़ेगा। भारत माता की जय तो आप करते हैं, पहले भारत को समझ लीजिए। भारत माता की जय करना अच्छा है, अच्छी बात है, लेकिन वो जय खाली कहने से नहीं होती है, वो जय करने से होती है। यहाँ तो ये है कि भारत के आप अच्छे नागरिक तो पहले बन जाइए। भारत के अच्छे नागरिक आप कब बनेंगे? जब भारत के हिसाब से आप चलेंगे, भारत देश की सेवा करने के लिए, चाहे वो किसी भी जगह बैठ के आप करें, प्राइवेट सेक्टर में करें, सर्विस सेक्टर में करें, बिजनेस करके करें, व्यापार करके करें, किसी भी तरह से आप कोई भी सेवा करें, भारत के लिए वो भारत की सेवा ही कहलाती है। और अपने कर्तव्यों का ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि हमारे कर्तव्य क्या हैं। हम लोग कर्तव्य नहीं करते हैं, अधिकार मांगते हैं। अरे कर्तव्य करेंगे तो अधिकार आपके पास स्वयं आएंगे, आप अधिकार मांगेंगे तो अधिकार नहीं आएंगे। कर्तव्य करिए, पहले समझ लीजिए कर्तव्य क्या है। ये तो खाली वो में बताएं जो लिखे हुए हैं, आप इसके ऊपर भी बंध नहीं सकते। आपके कर्तव्य इससे भी अधिक हैं, आपके प्रेमबल्स और भी हैं जो उसमें लिखे नहीं गए हैं। ये जिस समय लिखे गए थे उस जितना उनको आइडिया था उन्होंने लिख दिए, लेकिन कर्तव्य या ये चीजें जो स्ट्रक्चर होती हैं किसी भी देश के नियम कानून की, वो लिमिट में नहीं होती हैं, समय के हिसाब से चेंज होती रहती हैं। आज बहुत कुछ चेंज हो रहा है। 70 साल हो चुके, 72 साल हो चुके देश को स्वतंत्रता प्राप्त, उसके बाद बहुत कुछ चेंज हुआ है। समाज चेंज हुआ है, सोच चेंज हुई है, स्ट्रक्चर्स चेंज हुए हैं, लोगों के स्टैंडर्ड्स चेंज हुए हैं। देश ने बहुत आज़ादी की है, बहुत तरक्की की है, उन्नति भी की है, फैसिलिटीज चेंज हुई है, सब कुछ चेंज हुआ है। उस समय ऐसा था कि एक सुई में नहीं बनती थी, और आज देखिए आपके पास कितना विकास हो चुका है। सब चीज़ों में विकास है। ठीक है, हम उस लेवल पे नहीं पहुंचे हैं जिस लेवल पे पहुंचना चाहिए था, लेकिन हम इतने घिरे हुए भी नहीं हैं कि हम भीख मांगते हैं उन लोगों से। हम उस लेवल के भी नहीं रह गए हैं। आज हमारे पास बहुत कुछ है, पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, मेहनत करने वाले लोग हैं। वो अलग बात है कि वो अपने ज्ञान विज्ञान को प्रयोग नहीं करते, अपनी शक्ति का इस्तेमाल नहीं करते। वो अभी भी निर्भर हैं लोगों पे कि हमें जॉब मिल जाएगा तो हम जिएंगे। कोई बात नहीं, वो दूसरी बातें हैं, दूसरी इशू है, लेकिन समाज में कहने का मतलब यह है कि हमको अपने देश को आगे बढ़ाना है, तो उसके लिए हमको पहले स्वयं को तैयार करना चाहिए। खाली पढ़ाई लिखाई कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटी की किसी भी नागरिक को, किसी भी विद्यार्थी को इतना तैयार नहीं कर देती है कि वो देश को आगे बढ़ा सके, क्योंकि उनको भी उतना ही ज्ञान है जितना सिलेबस में होता है, प्रोग्राम में होता है। उससे आगे वो भी नहीं जानते। उससे आगे तो आपको आपका एक्सपीरियंस, आपकी अपॉर्चुनिटीज, आपकी सब चीज़ें जो आपकी वैल्यूज़ हैं, आपकी कमियां हैं, आपकी कैपेसिटी है, आपकी कॉम्पिटेंसी है, आप जिस क्षेत्र में उस क्षेत्र में, वो बताएगी आपको क्या करना है। It's not easy to say that I am Bharatwasi or I believe in Bharat. If you believe in Bharat, you have to accept that Constitution of India is your guide, it is your master, it is your law, it is your identity, and you have to accept this. You have to understand this first, and it is called preamble is first page on this document. And preamble means this is design of what your mother Bharat Mata says, what your mother Bharat Mata says. I say that, I conclude that Bharat Mata means Constitution of India provisions and the structure and preambles under which this constitution had been composed. We have to understand very well, it's not simply a book of articles, but it's a book and preamble in which the soul of this country lies, soul of our Bharat lies. And we have to understand, we have to analyze this soul. We have to understand what it is and what about it is, what it states and what it says, letters and spirit. We have to understand, because simply you cannot go through letters. You have to anticipate, you have to conceive, you have to pre-think what could be in minds of those people who devised this constitution, all these conditions. They had some perception of life at that time, and depending upon pre-history of that time, pre-date of that time, and what they learned about, and they anticipated future when what would be there. But it is not necessary whatever they thought would happen same way. Facts are always different, and thoughts are one thing while results are another thing. Practical life is another thing. So practice, from 1947 we had nothing at all in those times when pushed out English from here. They were our masters, they pushed them out from this country, and whoever pushed the house or pushed, that is another question, another explanation. I'm not going to that. But saying that at that time we were not having any dignity. Yeah, we had dignity of having independence, but we did not have any dignity of development. We did not rise to any level. We were all illiterate. We were very backward people. Our development, just see photos of that time, you'll see what people were, what sort of stands people had. If you can see and go check and find photographs in 1947 and photographs now, there's a lot of differences, earth and sky. You cannot say that something has happened since then. A lot of work has gone in this country, a lot of development has taken place in this in the last 70 years. Of course, it's not to that level it should have been because of many reasons are there. We are democratic country, we are republic country, we are secular country, we have so many people in this country. Of course, we have flourished from 140 crores. You can say that development we have achieved 30 crores to 140 crores. You imagine how many times it is. Four times, 4.5 times. We can do anything where we don't feel any hard work, where we want to live life. So we are expert in flourishing our population, in thriving our quantity of population, scale of our foundation, scale of our population. We are not sorry about that because we are not serious nation. We can compare ourselves to China that was much higher than us at one time, but now they are going down because they were serious. They thought for their country, they thought for future, but we never thought for future. We think only for practice now. We should feel happy. We don't care about nation. This is our practice now. Those people who liberated this country, who can say sacrifice their lives for years, for decades. Bhagat Singh did nothing for himself. He sacrificed his life for this country. Subhash did nothing for himself. He sacrificed his life, the residence of this country too. He left this country. Gandhi got nothing in his life. Of course, he had family, but that was for namesake. When he came to know about our country, he sacrificed even clothes. Same thing applied to Afridi who killed Viceroy in 1857. Same thing happens to all freedom fighters. I am not going to differentiate between who supports whom. I am just going to refer because all were freedom fighters, all were brothers and sisters, all were our uncles, all are our fathers. We have to treat that way. Politics is nothing in this case. Its question is those people sacrifice for what? They sacrifice for themselves or for us? That's the point. They sacrifice for us. And what we sacrifice for this nation, that is another question. Freedom fighters sacrifice everything. They did not sacrifice for their families, they sacrificed for future public of this country. And future public of this country considered at that time is now. And we are future public at that time. So we are those people for whom they fought. And after 70 years, who comes to this country as citizen? We did nothing for them. We spoiled everything but this freedom we have got in. And this is our fundamental bad duty. We did not do our duty according to requirement. We did not do anything. We just spoiled anything whatever our freedom fighters got for us. And that's unfortunate. We have to analyze something like mathematics. Let us assume why we do not do anything. Why we did not do anything? If we check from 1947 to this now, we did something in current few decades of that time because we had nothing. But if you see after 1980, what achievements we have? Of course, we made some achievements, scientific field and some other fields. But did we achieve like as an expert, as happened, as a given, as included, mandated on preambles of Constitution of this country, or what is mandated in fundamental duties of a citizen of this country? Tell me which duties are we going to do? Which preamble we are accepting? Are we complying with provisions of preambles? We are not complying. No one is complying. Only they are talking. Yes, we resolved ourselves into a country, Bharat, in which sovereignty should be there. Of course, we are sovereign, but practically, are we sovereign? We are killing each other. We are pulling rights from one man to give. Somebody pulls my rights, abuses me, my services, my life, and he updates his services. Means we are not a kind of economically equal. We are financially equal. One man is a billionaire, multi-billionaire, and one man is begging or doing hard work and not even getting 200 rupees a day. So where is equality of status? Where is equality of opportunity? With my blood, with my heart's wear, with my you can say hard work, that man is getting millionaire, billionaire is called sometimes says, I'm richest in this country and in this world. So does sovereignty apply there? Does equality applies there? Does democracy apply there? What applies there? Nothing applies there except deception, delusion, imagination, illusion. Oh, I am sovereign. No, Practically, we are not sovereign, we are stupids. We are suppressed. 90% people, 80% people in our society are suppressed people. By politicians, they are suppressed by industrialists, they are suppressed by those business houses, they are suppressed by all forces which should protect them. So we are claiming that we are sovereign, but practically we are sovereign for name's sake. This means this power has not been truly transferred to each citizen of this country. Financially, it says you should get all benefits of resources grown or available in our country, but poor man is not getting that. You may say this man is not working. Yes, that man is not working because there is no work. Why don't you provide work to that man? See, if somebody become rich not because of his capacity or competency, people get rich in this country because they have money. They take public money and do work and use these people who are very economically available in business and runs business and makes money. But this person remains where it was. This was. This means this money is abused. If suppose a person is getting 300 or 400 rupees in this country per day, and a person using him makes billions and billions by employing many million, many you can say thousands of such people in industry or in whatever field that person is got, this means that person is abusing this man, and then it doesn't allow facility to this man. You may call it privatization, you may call it corporatization, whatever you may call it. The question is, this is a part of this country. That person did not bring anything by his original efforts. That person did not work in excavation. That person did not work as a labor, as a worker, hard labor. But that person has got richer because of other hard-working people. So where is equality or inequality question? There is no equality at all. I have to work whole at 200, 300 per day, and that person has to enjoy whole life doing nothing. He is taking money from bank, he is running away from this country, and then says, I am patriot, I am honor of this country. Such person, then this sovereignty doesn't apply there. Then equality doesn't apply, as we said in many rights that should be equality of status, and there should be equality of opportunity, and then all this. And then means so many things that social justice is not there, economic justice is not there, political justice on there. You take for example politics. Is today a citizen capable or in a you can say comfortable state that he can or one man can apply to become member of parliament? No, because if I have to become member of parliament, first of all I should be rich enough. I must have 25, 50, 60, 70, 80 crores with me to elections. Then where is the status of, where is the opportunity? Where no opportunity, no equity, where is status? If I am poor man, I want to become MP, can I be MP? I cannot even think of. For good MP, I cannot think of MLA or corporator because I don't have money. And election requires money. So where is opportunity? Where is status? A man from a party only can be MP. A man from a party only can be MLA. This means there is a constraint on my opportunity. My opportunity has been clubbed, has been caught, has been taken into purchase of machine, heavy machine. So how can I come out of that? That is a question. Why don't we think that way? Or we don't have enough intelligentsia in this country? This country which is having 10 lakh doctors, 20 lakh lawyers, 50 lakhs, maybe 50 engineers, and 20 lakhs army and professors and teachers and judges and so on and so forth. You cannot limit in numbers. Why don't we think that way? These political bosses, these political robbers, they did nothing for this country after independence. Why should we worry about them? But we are worried about them more than we love ourselves. I'm not worried about my life, my country. I'm worried about politicians. Oh, this man should be there because without this man, country cannot move. Without this prime minister, without this president, without a minister, we cannot move. This is called definition of foolishness, definition of stupidity. We people have got many characters in our personality of each individual, and that is called stupid personality, foolish personality, brainless personality, thoughtless personality, calculationless personality, and no personality at all. Self self-deception it is. We are living in a life of delusion. Our comforts are in doldrum. You understand that? We are by namesake sovereign, secular. That's secular. Secular? What secular? There's a fight with Hindu and Muslim. Hindus and Muslims. Somebody is killing someone. He says, "Oh, you do whatever I say. This might is right. This is my country. You are foreigner. Go to Pakistan. Don't listen to that. If you don't do this, go to Pakistan." Is this secularism? This is Gundaism. So where is secularism? This means there are some elements in our society, misled elements, misled by these rascal politicians of this country, these rascals divider of society, these rascals human beings. They are not in fact human beings, they are devils. These devils have led these people who were innocent, who did not understand all this. They just taught them fight together, fight together. This is your country, this is not their country. They created such type of degree of understanding and thinking in their minds. So as a result, that people start fighting, killing each other, frictionalizing in the one society, frictions in another. Why should there be friction between various societies, various communities? There is no need of friction. We all belong to this country. Maybe someone is a Hindu, somebody is Vedic, somebody is Dharma, somebody is Muslim, somebody is Christian, somebody is Sai, somebody is Sikh, somebody is someone. Doesn't make a difference. Religion is something else, and person is another thing. We all have been born by this land, Bharat, nothing else. We did not come from England, we did not come from, you can say, Far East, we did not come from Arab, we are from here. 99.9999% people are from here, maybe Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Sai, Christian, both, doesn't matter. How does it matter? It's between me and my God what I believe. If I believe my God is this, what problem other God person has? There should be no problem, because I am just believing in my mind. I'm not, well, that's because they are going to temples, some to the mosque, that is your choice. It doesn't make a difference. But we have made a difference because of political reasons, because of, you can say, dividing people, disturbing society, removing harmonious atmosphere from society, and that is what we are. We have to understand each and every country. We are saying it is preamble. I am also claiming this preamble, but we have to realize, we have to establish these preambles. We have to establish these duties. We have to do these duties. We are not doing them. We are only speaking. We are speaking and sleeping. We are speaking and sleeping. We are sleeping society. How many people are doing their duties according to Constitution of this country? How many? Tell me. Nobody are doing. How many people are interested in this country's progress? Oh, they are interested in politics. They are interested in political positions. They are interested in powers. What do you say is, how many people are following sciences? People have stopped sciences. They have entered management. They have entered some other fields. They are not following sciences. Research is very low in this country. Education is very down in this country. They are not doing anything which should be done by this country. And those who did, they left this country. Those engineers who were dynamic, who had efficiency, who could do something for Bharat, they did not like to live here for sake of Bharat. But of course, they are working for Bharat. I'm not condemning them that way. But to an extent, our country is concerned, they did not prefer to stay here. They prefer to go to USA, go to Canada, go to somewhere else for sake of money and status. Everybody is not Abdul Kalam. No. Everybody is not like those scientists who stayed here to work, those engineers who stayed here to work. But if they go and come back, that's different. If they go and send money here, help here, do something here, just for sake of making their economy good, they go and come back, that is different. But those who say, no, I am American, I am Canadian, I am Australian, I don't care for you, that person cannot be Bharatvasi. That person got no spirit to be called Bharatvasi. We cannot accept such soul, such mentality, who is misled, who is misguided. That person ate our economy. That person was educated here. That person was brought up here. All money is spent on that. All care we took for that person, and that person now says, "I don't belong to you." This is called different person. A person who should not be there. Of course, I don't say in one day you can achieve all these duties and all that. You have to see there are many duties that you have to do for nation, but you are not doing anything. Now, for example, let us analyze this duty itself. It says that abide by constitution. People don't know constitution, forget abiding. People don't know constitution. Abide by constitution. How many of us of we people know constitution? I think maybe 2-3% person hardly know about this. Then he said respect its idols. Who does it? And it says institutions. Who does this? Government itself is breaking institutions. The government itself has destabilized institutions. Government has left no institution to be autonomous, to be independent. And there are some institutions, for example, RTI, right to information was there. That has also been broken by this government. Courts have been broken by this government. Legislature has been destabilized. Many state governments have been destabilized. So where is that spread? National flag. By saying they accept this flag, so there are many people who don't love this flag. They want their own flags and the national anthem. So if you see all this, even in national anthem, do we understand national anthem? We only say Jana Gana Jai Bharat Bhagya Vidata. They say for purpose of singing, chanting. But they understand that. How many of us have analyzed that? We have not analyzed. But we just move on. Bharat Bhagya Vidhata. What is meaning of Bharat Bhagya Vidhata? They don't know. They don't know what is Bharat Bhagya Vidhata. Bharat Bhagya Vidhata, who can write your luck? Bharat is the nation, where society is Bharat. They have to analyze each other. They will not analyze just singing for sake, and that's all. Then he said noble ideals. How we know what about noble ideals? Don't we understand? No, we don't understand. We don't understand national struggle. We don't understand freedom because we got everything cooked. We got our food delivered really well. We are eating that food and that's it. Sovereignty of this country, unity of this country, integrity of this country, who is upholding? Everybody interested in his own. They are only for say sovereign, we are sovereign, but they are not respecting themselves. They do not know even right of vote. What is vote? Why should it be given to someone? We don't have any details of that. We don't have any analytical approach to that. We say just we vote, but we don't know for what purpose we are voting. People say we are going to elect prime minister. Some say we are going to elect government. Some say, but purpose is not that. We should know. We don't even know to whom we are voting, what his person. Why should I vote to that person? We have to understand this. Then country we have to defend. National service we have to provide. Are we defending our country? From whom we are not defending? How many people are interested to go to army? How many wars of leaders have gone to army? How many film stars have gone to army? Their kids have gone to army. Nobody is interested. Only poor guy is going. Farmers' kids are going. How many leaders' kids are there? How many daughters and you can say sons of army officers are there in army? Maybe many of them are there. But mostly IS officers, how many kids are there? Tell me, IPS officer, IAS officer, IRS officers, how many of the family members of the army? Nobody says anything. And those who are there, they are not treated well. So that's the problem. So we are saying we are their duties, we are not doing our duties. Then let's say provide harmony and the spirit of brotherhood. We are not brothers, we are fighting. Brothers should not fight, but they are fighting in this country. We are just transcending religions. We are calling them low. We are just showing our saffron color. We are showing our tabs. We are identifying public. I am Muslim, I am Hindu, I am Sikh, I am all that. So there is no brotherhood. You cannot say that. So various diversity. So we are rapes are there. So where is derogated? Where is dignity of women? Then where are we? We are not protecting our culture. Then if you can say yes, environment. Big question. If you see environment in 1947 and environment 2019, you will understand what environment difference is. There was a time in this country when quality of water in England and quality of water here in Bharat. You may say quality of water in London and quality of water Delhi was same, was better, was compatible, comparable. But now you can see what is that. What is quality of air here? What is quality of, you see, you are respirating, you are getting cancer disease, you are getting asthma disease, average disease, lakes have gone, forests have been deforested, rivers have dried, wildlife has finished. So what we did, where is our fundamental duty? We did nothing to stop, we did reverse of that. Then scientific temper, who is studying sciences? No, people are interested in the money. What is value of humanism? And what is value of spirit and reforms? No election reforms, just same elections, no political reform, same type of Lok Sabha and same type of Rajya Sabha. They are not, I mean, they are counting heads, you see. People in MP positions are not analyzing what is right, what is wrong. Unfortunately, they are doing debates, they are doing everything only for purpose of record. If whatever debate is done by opposition or by members of treasury benches, these are only for purpose of record. At time of voting, there is no value of that. It is unfortunate. What's the meaning of debate if it's not calculated? Value is not given to that. We are counting heads, how many say yeah, how many say no. Just voice vote. If you have to give vote only, keeping your head counts, what's the meaning of these debates? If somebody this, I mean, debate is there, every act is pushed, every bill is pushed. Debates are for namesake for journals, parliament journals, and nothing else. So we are doing reverse of that. No reforms, election reforms are not there, public reforms are not there, police reforms are not there, women's protection is not there, hospital reforms are not there. There is nothing. Safeguard to public property and to violence, okay, strive towards excellence in all spheres. Means there are only ideals, of course, for purpose of speaking, but not in real life. So we have to understand that very well, how we stay, where we stay. It's not question of I'm talking, question of experience. I have seen, I am analyzing, I am understanding where we are wrong, where we are right. We all are same. We have contributed negatively to this country's development. Country has developed, of course it has developed. If you see quality in this country, be happy with quality. Even if it's in private house, in a government house, in public house, whatever, you see quality of that work. I hate it. I disapprove it. I am a civil engineer. I know what is quality. I have gone through many buildings in my life. I have gone through hundreds of structures in my life. I understand quality. People understand quality, but people don't understand facts. One thing is quality that is seen. One thing is quality that is background. One thing is design that is seen. What is the design that is background? I tell many people about what is construction, what is design, what considerations are there in designs. People don't understand, they don't know. Something is seen behind scene. Something works. Say, for example, a doctor works, every patient see, public see the doctor is conducting operation or doctor is working in OPD, is giving, hey, means people know work of doctor. People know work of advocate. People know work of chartered. People know work of these stupid politicians. People know what a shopkeeper is doing. People know what a businessman is doing. People know what transport people are doing. But people don't know what engineers are doing, unfortunately. Because engineers are not generally accessible to common man. Project of engineers are not one-day projects. Every project takes years, many months, 2-3 years. But behind that, there are a lot of things, a lot of activities going on in design field. There are hundreds and hundreds of codes which apply. There are hundreds of formula that apply on a project. There are hundreds of theory. There are hundreds of considerations. There are hundreds of assumptions which are considered among the science. But those people don't know. For example, let's take any building design. You may say, what is this? Just excavation, foundation, beam, column, or without beam, column, or whatever it is. You see that, but you don't know what is behind that. You don't know that. You drive a car, you know this car, cream color, or this good seat and the steering, power steering and automatic gears and all that you know. But you don't know theory behind that. You don't know design behind that. And that's the problem. When you live in a building, you see a very good fluster, very good finish, gypsum floor, or plus of Paris, now decoration, very good ceiling. Ah, I enjoy this. But you don't know structure of that. Because that structure is covered. That's what I say, our design field is covered. That is not accessible, that is not visible, but we will not accept that. We will see beautiful building, very attractive building. Even if it falls after some time, it happened many times. Many structure collapse, many bridges collapse because they were beautifully done but not beautifully designed. And if beautifully designed, that was not beautifully affected, carried out, executed, prosecuted, whatever was. That is the problem with our people. Our people don't understand facts of life. It's the background. When your son is big, your daughter is big, grown up, you know background, but others people don't know what a handsome boy, what a smart boy this father has, what a intelligent daughter he has, but he doesn't know what work is behind that. How many hours he used to study, what that boy used to do in life in 18 hours a day. People don't know that. Because secrets we don't know, that's the problem. In our life, quality is very important and quantity also is very important. But alone quantity is not important as well as alone quality is not important. Both should be together. There's no one should not be ahead of others. If quantity is ahead, quality is better, this product is useless. This product is not good, not quality product, not a standard product, and this will fail. Durability means reliability. And again, I am explaining what is reliability. Reliability is advanced definition in systems, and that definition says if something is reliable, if you want to rely on someone or on some system, that system reliability means equal to safety plus serviceability plus durability. These three criteria constitute reliability. Again, reliability equals safety plus serviceability plus durability. So safety is what? Safety from its own service, safety from its own use, safety from safety consideration, HSE consideration, and many other issues. Plus serviceability. Service means any product, any person, any group, whatever is that, should deliver service efficiently and with what purpose it was intended to be designed and produced, that it must deliver. Plus durability. What is durability? This English word, but let us consider in different way. Dur means distance. What distance I can go, that is dur. So durability, what distance can a product give service to you? Perform it to so 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 6 months, whatever service it can give you for a distance time, you may say that is durability. This means your item or your product should be safe, it should perform, and it should perform for a fixed duration, and if possible more as bonus. That is called reliability. If my building is safe, for example, safe in a sense that I can live in building safely, I have occupation certificate, so I can get for occupation certificate, but it is there legally, means I can occupy a building safely. That is the consideration, that's an assumption, that's not a guarantee, just believe it. And then serviceability, in which building I am living, what machine I am using, that should serve me safely, serve me promptly, serve me in efficiency, that there's no defect, there is no difference, there is no threat, there is no, you can say I do not leave building in emergency. That should be like that. That's called safety, safe living in that building. And durability, suppose my building is designed for 50 years or for 100, it should not distress for that period. During that period, it should continue good service, say for 50 years or for 100 years, without showing any degree of distress or deterioration, or you can say disintegration. That is called durability. So what I say, one should be reliable. Country needs reliable politicians, country needs reliable leaders, reliable engineers, reliable professionals, doctors, and whosoever is there, but people are not reliable. That's the problem. For example, a professor in a university, that profession has no exposure to practical life. That's another cause. If that person has no practical exposure, how can that person teach those students? That person shall teach only theory and pragmatism copied from some other books. That's all. That person has got no personal experience in life in that field which he is teaching in that subject. So how can that person respond to queries raised by students? And students shall not raise queries because this person is unable to answer. That person shall give reference to other book, and then that other book will give reference to other book, and this goes on sequentially in each and every field. So that education is different. If a professor is defective, same thing applies to engineer. If engineer comes from university and starts working in field, that person doesn't fit in, because education of engineering is at least 10 years behind or 15 years behind what is taught in colleges and universities. Even in IITs, same thing applies. So there is a deterioration, there is a downgrade of education. Education is not meeting advancement, and advancement is not available to be known. That's the problem. Whatever we learn, that must be applied. Gita says knowledge is useless if it's not applicable, if it's not workable. So if I learn something, I cannot use it. What's the meaning of that? I cannot do it. If I cannot do it, means my education is useless. My theory is useless. If my theory says something, it should be applied, and I can apply only if first of all I should have opportunity. If I have opportunity God, then I should do it perfectly, professionally, and that is called profession. And once you apply 30, you learn something out of that. That's called operational research. And when you do operational research many times, you get something more. So this way, repetition, and repetition, you get multi operations, and that is called experience. And experience means expertise. You are expert only when you do something for years and learn from that. It's not simply education. You pass out a degree and say, I'm expert, I'm structural engineer, I'm doctor, very expert doctor. Doctors also perform many operations on patients. Many patients die and many recover. And that is called experience. A fresh doctor and doctor having practiced medicine both perform differently. That is why there is different courses, their levels. Same thing in engineering, same thing in the field. But we have to be reliable for society. If we just make money, that's not correct. That is not reliability. You are reliable money making only. Money making is one part of life, but that is not a total part. Serve the nation, which our fundamental duties say. People are not interested in serving. You ask any professional, go and ask any common professional who is in field. I'm not telling some experienced professionals, or those, I'm talking of common professionals who are just young and they don't know anything about our constitution. Unfortunately, we should know them. They should know them, but they don't know. Well, I'm not criticizing someone. Just don't take it otherwise. I'm just telling why we are lagging behind. Why I have been sleeping. We should not sleep from this viewpoint. We have. I'm not talking of physical sleep. Just remember, I'm talking of mental sleep. Mentally, we have been sleeping. We are leaving everything. We have left everything with these leaders who know nothing, who are not well educated, who don't know well. They are not professionals. In our politics, you see, our politics have got no professionals, and those who are professionals, they are not valued. Until there are professionals in politics from every field, until ministers know their job, a minister portfolio must have that background. If you know some vendor who doesn't do any profession, who sells water, and you make him industrial minister, shall he be able to work? If a medical doctor is industrial minister, shall he be able to work? Same thing applies to everybody. You shall have experience. There is no depth of professional experts in this country. Why don't you appoint from them? Why do you appoint only from your MPs? That's the question. Why don't we value those people? Forget your politicians. They cannot do anything for this country. Ultimately, they will consult these people only, experts. So what's the meaning of their being ministers? No meaning. Bills come to Rajya Sabha. Bills come to Lok Sabha. We accept Lok Sabha is a group of non-intellectuals. Lok Sabha is a group of, you can say, doctors. But Rajya Sabha is not expected to be duffers. Rajya Sabha is destined to those people, house to those people who are experts in their field. This is basic theory. This is a basic principle of our democracy. But this doesn't happen. Either they were lawyers only or riches only. Why? Why experts are not there? Those people are those people who should think, who should analyze. Why to count heads every time? Okay, Lok Sabha, I agree, count heads. But why in Rajya Sabha you should amend? You should bring an act that give numbers to every debate. You fix some numbers. For example, in this debate, this person has talked like this. There should be an independent person here to assess degree of this debate, value of debate, and mark accordingly. Say out of 150 points or 100 points or 70 points to this debate, because he has spoken some reasonable work, he has given some reasonable talk, keeping in view act contents. Then all persons, all debate people, all speakers should be given same value, and then counted. Which is highest, that should be given approval or no approval. Which party, suppose this bill has 50 debates, 40 debate speakers, every should be counted. And then count these achievements, count these scores, and decide which, yes, this side or no, this side, how many marks are there, and approve. But this is not happening. Only head counts. Okay, yeah, no. Now, what's meaning of debate? Your debate has gone hollow. It has gone. There's no meaning of this. You spoke for 1 hour in one debate, and there's no meaning of your debate. Considered, not considered, just for sake of hearing, for sake of recording, and that's it. This means your bill will be passed only if someone has majority or no majority. It will not pass. Then why debate? Then there should be no Rajya Sabha, in fact. No Rajya Sabha, what's the purpose? If whatever Prime Minister response is, whatever Minister response is, there's no meaning. Because you have to count heads. That's what I am saying. Stupid people we are. Thinkless people we are. Sleeping society we are. We never analyze anything. I am not saying that nothing is then we change. There have been more than 100 amendments of the Constitution. You amend more. At least act which you are designing, that should be operable, implementable. But you are not thinking. For example, latest approval was triple talaq, instant triple talaq. You think over this, what it is. It is very easy to think for a common man and for an intellectual. It simply says that it is illegal if somebody performs or attempts to deliver the instant triple talaq, which already there is a law, case law by Supreme Court. Means it's already illegal. It's against law. It's anti-national law. It's anti-Muslim law. You can say that if you deliver instant triple talaq, this is void. No break in marriage. That is already there. So what government did? Government did something which is hollow, which is irrelevant. Irrelevant. If somebody has divorced and that divorce is not implementable, that divorce doesn't mean still they are husband and wife. And then this law says that this husband should go to jail for 3 years. What is destination here? What is milestone here? Where is the root cause of evil and where is solution? Where is punishment? You are giving a punishment to a person who did not do any crime. What right you have got under Constitution to punish a person who has not done any crime or evidence to have done any crime? On what basis you are punishing that person? That is called analysis. This person just said talaq, talaq, talaq. And this saying talaq, talaq, talaq is void. There is no statutory meaning, no legal meaning in this. Yes, it can be considered one talaq, means one time. He has to say 2 more times. This means procedure is not over but it started. If a person divorces his wife, say, shall he go to jail for 3 years? If a person from Vedic society or so-called Hindu society, if that person moves an application, issues notice to wife that through a lawyer that I apply section 13 of Hindu Marriage Act for dissolution of this marriage, and that lawyer sends a notice to that person, serves a notice to the does that mean that this starts a talaq? It's a process. Shall that person who applied this application, who instructed lawyer, send one dissolution notice, this person should go to jail? Question is same. If that person starts some procedure and the other person also starts some dissolution of marriage in the Hindu Marriage Act, should that person go to jail for 3 years? It's a question. You are not sending this person to jail, but you are sending a person of another community to jail because you don't. What logic does exist there? Can someone tell me? Can our EVM Prime Minister tell me or EVM Minister tell me? What does this mean? What does this mean? Simply writing that you will go to 3 years imprisonment without causing any crime, without initiating any crime, what does it mean? This your intelligence is minus. You are just interested in what you think. This is not correct. This means everybody who applies for a divorce in court should also go to jail. A person who deserts marriage, leaves wife and goes away somewhere in hiding, that person should also go to jail. But doesn't happen. But this is happening. That is what I am saying. Minister did not do analysis. Prime Minister did not do analysis. IAS officer, law officer did not do analysis. Consultant did not do analysis. Member of Parliament did not do analysis. Nobody did analysis, but framed the bill. These persons who are debating, they did not do anything, just debated. No meaning of debate because there was no points in debate, no marking in debate. You speak 10 minutes, you speak 1 hour, you speak 100 points, nobody thinks. There's no response on those points. What is the meaning of debate? You do debate, you don't know debate, you analyze, you don't analyze, they have to count number of votes. That's it. Number of votes, voice vote or counted votes. If you have to count votes only, there is no meaning of any talk, any analysis or anything. So what do you call such system, such society? Foolish system, stupid society, sleeping society, and useless society, thinkless society, I should say. Then there is no meaning of these houses. No meaning of these houses. Well, that is I'm saying, if you understand preambles of this constitution, if you understand fundamental duties of our citizens, you will shy that you have not achieved anything. Your head should come down with shame. What I am as a citizen, what contribution I have given to this country in exchange, in support of those struggles which our forefathers did for this country. They lost their lives, they lost their comforts, they lost everything, and we are losing what they did. We are breaking what they did. We are breaking everything they achieved for us. We are only interested in material world. We are interested in a good house. We are interested in a car. We are interested in children. We are interested in our family. Everybody is interested in nuclear family development and personal family development and for only them. We are not working class people. We are differential people, section people, Brahman, Rajput, Harijan, Shudra, Kasai, this, that, all in this bakwas we are living in. I am politician, minister, MLA, MP. You are a clerk. You are only a clerk, IS clerk. You are ordinary clerk. You are only officer. You are an engineer, only nothing else. You are just a doctor. What's your value? This is a thought created in. They are big because I am president, I am prime minister, I am everything. You are only an employee. I cut your salary. I cut your this. This is our country. No value of profession. Until we improve ourselves, until we educate ourselves properly, not academic education, our systematic education, until we understand what we are, we cannot move ahead. We want to be Vishwa Guru. We don't know world. We don't know world. We want to be Vishwa Guru. We want to pull Ramayana into our culture. We want to Mahabharata into our culture without knowing what Ramayana and Mahabharata is. Are. Ram, we speak Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Radhe Radhe. Do you know meaning of that? Can you follow Ram? Who follows Ram these days? Everybody is stealing. Everybody is criming. Everybody is doing everything that should not be done. Everybody is cheating country. Everybody is saving taxes. Everybody is doing everything that benefits that person. Where is Ram? Prime Minister doesn't care what's happening. If somebody is raped, he doesn't care. Minister doesn't care. Chief Minister doesn't care. Prime Minister is not concerned with any problem. Prime Minister is busy only in image making, personal image making, and nothing else. Prime Minister doesn't know what ministers are doing. He just take off appointment, and that's it. Prime Minister doesn't do anything. He doesn't analyze anything for, he doesn't analyze any issue of country. He only does conscious talk, man ki baat. Man doesn't rule nation, minds rule nation. Man doesn't solve your problem because man is silent. Man is emotional, and emotions cannot solve problem. Analysis can solve problem. Root cause understanding can solve problem. Discover root cause, find solution that can solve problem. But no, you don't believe in that because you believe in Ganesh was a plastic surgeon. You believe in many old theories, old talks and fictions. You are a fiction prime minister. You have made people fiction. This country has been a fiction in spite of its reality. But no, you want to see mirage which you can never catch. You want to see horizon which you can never catch. That is unfortunately what to do. You will say just talking and talking. This person only interested in talking. No, I am talking not like a preacher. I am talking not like a politician. I am not talking like a foolish or stupid person. I am talking based in our constitution. What is there? I am talking about that, and that is a fact. You cannot deny. No one can deny. Understand that fact. If people start reading constitution, government like this is in power, and even Congress government power, they will be thrown out because both are saying no difference. Don't think Congress is very chun. I don't think that. That Congress sacrificed that Congress. This Congress is not even knowing Constitution. And forget about BJP, they know nothing about Constitution. They only know Jai Shri Ram, Hindu, Muslim, this and that, Pakistan, Bharat. More than this, they don't know anything. No, we always say Pakistan is our enemy. What function it serves? Everyday argument on television, Pakistan, India. No meaning at all. It's separate country, nothing to do with you. You may have some disputes with Pakistan, solve them and that's it. Suppose today is no dispute with Pakistan. Suppose Jammu Kashmir issue is resolved. Let us assume what is there then. Every country has some disputes with other countries. Palestine and Israel have disputes. Many other countries have disputes. It happens. Why to take it that way? If you solve it, if you don't solve it, try to solve it. You have to do that. But if you say no, you are my enemy. So if you make enemy, what shall you do? And what that person shall do? Nothing. You cannot you kill that person. You cannot murder that person. You cannot take that person's country. Why nonsense you are talking? In fact, there are 180 countries, how 200 countries on this earth. All are there. Pakistan is also there. You made Bangladesh is also there. What to do then? Therefore, be practical, be thinker. Don't emotionalize people. Once you can emotionalize them for 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 month, you can win elections, of course. But what is after that? Election winning is no solution. Solution is country's problem solving. Solve country's problem. Just winning election is everybody's job. Everybody can win election. It's not a very simple thing. Well, I was just interested in to talk about some we can say some emergency provisions which are covered in our part 18 of this constitution, and these are, if you say, article 2, which says emergency provisions and proclamation of emergency. Then 353 says effects of proclamation of emergency. 354 it says applications of provisions relating to distribution of revenues while a proclamation of emergency is in operation. Then it says 355 which is duty of union to protect the states against external aggression and internal disturbance. Then there's 56 which says provisions in case of failure of constitutional machinery in states. And then it says 357 which is exercise of legislative powers under proclamation issued under Article 356, and 358 is suspension of provisions of Articles 19 during emergency, and then Article 359 which is suspension of enforcement of rights conferred by Part 3 during emergency. 359 is repealed. 360 is provisions as to final emergency, and this is Article onwards. So I like to have a look on this briefly so that we can understand what we are and where we are. Article 352 we can reach very fine. 350 to 71 it is, and 352 is there. Let me go 352, 371, and this is 370. Then we have to say 352. 366, more down, and it is 361. So let us say 352, 358. So it's reaching now. It's reaching 357. Okay, let me reach there very quickly. 355. Okay, 352. 352 is reaching now. 352. Yes, emergency provisions 352. If President is satisfied that grave emergency exists whereby security of India or of any part of territory therefore is threatened, whether by war, external aggression, whether by war or external aggression or armed rebellion, he may by proclamation make a declaration to that effect in respect of whole India or of such part of territory thereof as may be specified in proclamation. Explanation is a proclamation of emergency declaring that security of India or any part of territory thereof is threatened by war or by external aggression or by armed rebellion may be made before the actual occurrence of war or of any such aggression or rebellion if President is satisfied imminent danger thereof. A proclamation issued under this clause may be varied or revoked by a subsequent proclamation. President shall not issue a proclamation under clause 1 or proclamation varying such proclamation unless decision of Union Cabinet, that is to say Council of consist of Prime Minister and other ministers cabinet rank appointed under Article 75, that such a proclamation may be issued has been communicated to him in writing. Every proclamation issued under this article shall be laid before each House of Parliament and shall accept where it is proclamation revoking a previous proclamation cease to operate at expiration of 1 month unless before expiration of that period it has been approved by resolution of both Houses of Parliament, and then provided that if such a proclamation not being a proclamation revoking a previous proclamation is issued at time when the House of People has been dissolved or the solution of House of People takes place during period of 1 in this clause, and if a resolution approving proclamation has been passed by Council of States, but no resolution was with respect to such proclamation has been passed by House of People before expiration of that period, proclamation shall cease to operate at expiration of 30 days from date on which the House of People first sits after its reconstitution, unless before expiration of same period of 30 days a resolution approving proclamation has been also passed by House of People. A proclamation is so approved shall, unless a proclamation is so approved shall, unless revoked, cease to operate an expiration of period of 6 months from date of passing of second of resolution approving proclamation under clause 4. Provided and so often as a resolution approving resolution approving continuation of force in force of such proclamation is passed by both Houses of Parliament, proclamation shall, unless revoked, continue in force for a further period from date on which it was otherwise have ceased to operate under this clause. Provided further that if dissolution of House of People takes place during any such period of 6 months and resolution approving continuance of force of such proclamation has been passed by Council of States, but no resolution with respect to continuation in force of such proclamation has been passed by House of People during said period, the proclamation shall cease to operate at expiration of 30 days from date on which House of People first sits after reconstitution, unless before expiration of said period of 30 days a resolution approving continuance and force of proclamation has been also passed by House of People. For purpose of clauses 4 and 5, a resolution may be passed by either House of Parliament only by a majority of total membership of that House and by a majority of not less than 2/3 of members of that House present in voting. Notwithstanding anything contained in foregoing clauses, President proclamation issued under clause 1 or proclamation varying such proclamation if the House of People passes a resolution disapproving or as case may be disapproving continuance in force of such proclamation. where a notice is in writing signed by not less than one-tenth of total number of member of House of People has been given of their intention to move a resolution for disapproving or, as case may be, for disapproving continuance of in force of a proclamation issued under clause or proclamation bearing such proclamation. A. To Speaker if House is in session or to President of House is not in session. A special sitting of House shall be held within 14 days from date on which such notice is received by the Speaker or, as the case may be, by President or considering such resolution. Power conferred on President by article shall include power to issue different proclamations on different grounds, being war, external aggression, or armed rebellion, or imminent danger of or armed rebellion, where or not there is a proclamation already issued by President under Clause 1, and such proclamation is in operation. Article 53. While a proclamation of emergency is in operation, then notwithstanding anything in this Constitution, executive power of Union shall extend to giving directions to any state as to manner in which executive power thereof is to be exercised. Power of Parliament to make laws with respect to any matter shall include power to make laws conferring powers and imposing duties or authorizing conferring of powers and imposing of duty, position of duties upon union officers and authorities of union as respects that matter, notwithstanding that it is one which is not enumerated in union list. Provided that where a proclamation of emergency is in operation only in any part of territory of India, executive power of union to give directions under clause A and Parliament to make laws under clause B shall also extend to any state other than a state in which or in any part of which proclamation of emergency is in operation, it and insofar as the security of India any part of territory thereof is threatened by activities in or in relation to part of territory of India in which proclamation of emergency is in operation. Article 354. President may, while a proclamation of emergency is in operation, by order direct that all or any of provisions of Article 268 to 279 shall for such period not extending to any case beyond that expiration of financial year in which such proclamation ceases to operate as may be specified in the order to have effect subject to such exceptions or modifications as he thinks fit. Every order made under clause 1 shall maybe after it is laid before each House of Parliament. 355. It shall be duty of Union to protect every state against external aggression and internal aggression or disturbance, and to ensure that government of every state is carried on regardless of the provisions of this Constitution. 356.1. The President, on receipt of a report from Governor of a state or otherwise, is satisfied that a situation has arisen in which government of a state cannot be carried on in accordance with provisions of this Constitution, the President may by proclamation assume to himself all or any of functions of government of state and all or any of powers vested in or exercisable by governor or anybody or authority in that state other than legislature of state. Declare that powers of legislature of state shall be exercisable by or under authority of Parliament. Make such incidental consequential provisions as appear to the President to be necessary or desirable for giving effect to objects of proclamation, including provisions for suspending in whole or in part of operation of any provisions of this Constitution relating to any body or authority in the state. Provided that nothing in this clause shall authorize President to assume himself any of powers vested in or exercisable by a High Court or to suspend in whole or part of operation of any provision of this Constitution relating to High Courts. Any such proclamation may be revoked or varied by subsequent proclamation. Every proclamation under this article shall be laid before each House of Parliament and shall, except where it is proclamation of a previous proclamation, cease to operate at expiration of 2 months, unless before expiration of that period it has been approved by resolutions of both Houses of Parliament. If any such proclamation, not being a proclamation revoking a previous proclamation, is issued at time when House of People is dissolved or dissolution of House of People takes place during period of 2 months referred to in this clause, and if a resolution approving proclamation has been passed by Council of States but no resolution with respect to such proclamation has been passed by House of People, before expiration of that date. Proclamation shall cease to operate at expiration of that 30 days from date on which House of People first sits after its reconstitution unless before expiration of said period of 30 days a resolution approving the proclamation has been also passed by House of People. A proclamation so approved shall unless revoked cease to operate on expiration of period of 6 months from date of issue of proclamation, provided that if and so often as a resolution approving constituents on force of such a proclamation is passed by both houses of parliament, proclamation shall unless resolved not continue to enforce for a further period of 6 months from date on which under this clause it would otherwise have ceased to operate, but no such proclamation shall in any case remain in force for more than 3 years. Provided further that if dissolution of House of People takes place during any such period of 6 months and a resolution approving continuance in force of such proclamation has been passed by Council of States, but no resolution with respect to continuance in force of such proclamation has been passed by during said period, proclamation shall cease to operate at expiration of 30 days from date on which House of People first sits after reconstitution, unless reconstitution approving continuance in force of proclamation has been also passed by House of People. Provided also that in case of proclamation issued under clause 1 on 11th day of May 1987 with respect to state of Punjab, reference in first provision to this clause to 3 years shall be constructed as reference to 5 years. Notwithstanding anything contained in clause 4, a resolution with respect to constituting continuance in force of a proclamation approved under clause 3 for any expiration of 1 year from date of issue of such proclamation shall not be passed by either House of Parliament unless a proclamation of emergency is in operation in whole of India or as case may be in whole of any part or whole or in part of the state at time of passing of such resolution, and election commission certifies that continuance in force of proclamation approved under clause 3 during period specified in such resolution is necessary on account of difficulties in holding general elections to legislative assembly of that state concerned. Provided that nothing in this clause shall apply to proclamation issued under clause 1 on 11th day of May 1997 with respect to state of Punjab. Article 357. Whereby a proclamation issued under clause 1 of Article 356 which has been declared that powers of legislature of state shall be exercised by or under authority of Parliament, it shall be competent for Parliament to confer on President powers of legislature of state to make laws and to authorize President to delegate subject to such conditions as he may think fit to improve powers of conferred to any other authority to be specified by him in that behalf. For Parliament to or for President or other authority to whom such powers to make laws is vested under subclause A to make laws conferring powers and imposing duties or authorizing conferring of powers and imposition of duties upon union or officers and authorities thereof. For President to authorize when House of People is not in session expenditure from consolidated fund or the fund of a state pending sanctions of such expenditure by Parliament. Any law made in exercise of this power of legislature of state by Parliament or President or other authority referred to in subclause of clause. Clause 1, which Parliament or President or such other authority would not but for issue of proclamation under Article 356 have been competent to make shall after proclamation has ceased to operate continue in force until already or repealed or amended by competent legislature or other authority. Article 358. While a proclamation of emergency declaring that security of India or any part of territory thereof is threatened by war or by external aggression is in operation, nothing in Article 19 shall restrict power of the state is defined in Part 3 to make any law to take any executive action which state would, but for provisions continued in that part, be competent to make or to take. But any law so made shall, to extent of incompetency, cease to have effect as soon as proclamation ceases to operate except as respect things done or omitted to be done, so ceases to have effect. Provided that where such proclamation of emergency is in operation only in a part of territory of India, any such law may be made or any such executive action may be taken under this article in relation to or in state, union territory in which or any part of which proclamation of emergency is not in operation, and if and so far executed security of India or any part of territory there is threatened by activities and or in relation to part of territory of India in which proclamation of emergency is in operation. Nothing in this clause shall apply to any law which doesn't contain a recital to effect that such law is in relation to in a proclamation of emergency in operation when it made so. To any executive action taken otherwise, and a law containing such a recital. 359. Is an operation tribunal may by order declare that right to move any court for enforcement of such a right controlled by Part 3 except in Article 30 and 21 as may be mentioned in order, and all proceedings pending in any court for enforcement of the rights so mentioned shall remain suspended for a period during which proclamation is in force or for such short a period as may be specified in the order. While an order made under Clause 1 mentioning any of rights confirmed by Part 3 except Article 20 and 21 is in operation, nothing in that part conferring these rights shall restrict the power of state as defined in said part to make any law or to take an executive action which state would, but for provisions contained in that part, be competent to make or to take. But any law so made shall, to extent of incumbency, cease to have effect as soon as order aforesaid ceases to obey as respects things done or omitted to be done before law so ceases to have effect. Provided that where a proclamation of emergency is in operation only in part of containing part of territory of India, any such law may be made or any such executive action may be taken under this article in relation to or in any state or union territory in which or in any part of which proclamation of emergency is not in operation, if any also and if and so far as security of India or any part of it therefore is threatened by activities in or in relation to part of territory of India in which proclamation of emergency is in operation. 1b. Nothing in this clause shall apply to any law which doesn't contain a recital to effect of that such law is in relation to proclamation of emergency in operation when it is made or to any executive action taken otherwise than law containing such recital. An order made as aforesaid may extend to all or any part of territory of India. Provided that where a proclamation of emergency is in operation only in a part of the territory of India, and such order shall not extend to any other part of the territory of India unless President being satisfied that security of India or any part of the territory thereof is threatened by activities in or in relation to any part of the territory of India in which proclamation of emergency is in operation considers such extensions to be necessary. Every order made under Clause 1 shall, as soon as possible, made possible after it is made, be laid before each House of Parliament. 360. If President is satisfied that situation is arising whereby financial stability or character of India or any part of territory thereof is threatened, he may by proclamation make a declaration to that effect. A proclamation issued under be revoked or varied by a subsequent proclamation shall be laid before each House of Parliament, shall cease to operate at expiration of 2 months unless before expiration of that period it has been approved by resolutions of both Houses of Parliament. Provided that if any such proclamation is issued at a time when a House of People has been dissolved or dissolution of House of People takes place during a period of 2 months, referred to in subclause C, and if a resolution approving proclamation has been passed by Council of States, but no resolution with respect to such proclamation has been passed by the House of People before expiration of that period, proclamation shall cease to operate at expiration of 30 days from date on which House of People first sits after reconstruction unless before expiration of set period of 30 days, the resolution approving proclamation has been also passed by House of. During period any such proclamation as in mentioned in clause 1 is an operation executive authority of union shall extend to giving directions to any state clause of such canons on financial property as may be specified in directions and to giving of such order directions as president may deem necessary and adequate for purpose. Notwithstanding anything in this constitution, any such direction may include a provision requiring reduction of salaries and allowances of all or any class of persons serving in connection with affairs of the state. A provision requiring all money bills or the bills to which provisions of Article 207 apply to be reserved for consideration of President after they are passed by legislature of state. It shall be competent for President during period any proclamation issued under this article is in operation to issue directions of salaries and allowances of all or any class of person serving in connection with affairs of union, including judges of Supreme Court and judges of High Courts. So these were provisions in relation to emergency impositions, external emergency due to aggression of enemy or internal emergency due to financial issues or whatever issues were there. ये जानना बहुत आवश्यक था आप लोगों को कि इमरजेंसी क्या है, आपातकालीन स्थिति क्या होती है, बाहर क्या होती है, अंदर क्या होती है, एक्सटर्नल क्या होती है, इंटरनल क्या होती है, बहुत आवश्यक होता है जानना। और ये क्लासेस मैंने बताई हैं, बातें बताऊंगा मैंने इससे बताई हैं, आपको सारे पता होने चाहिए, बहुत जरूरत है। You have to know everything about constitution, everything at least that relates to. I am not saying you know about judiciary, you know those complicated issues of budget. You should know superficially at you and what you should know about something. Whatever work you do, whatever job you have, whatever profession you have, but general you should know. For example, so far we have discussed of what is constitution, what is preamble, what are you can say name of this country, what are fundamental rights and what are other rights and what are definite rights, what are directive principles, what is government functioning, how it is functioning, what is state functioning, how it is functioning, how is parliament working, how is this happening, what are your responsibilities of parliament, responsibilities of your states, and what are the responsibility of municipalities and panchayats. We have discussed all lists, we have discussed union list, we have discussed state list, we have discussed county list, we have discussed municipality list, and we have discussed panchayats charters. All these charters we have discussed in details, and it is very important for everybody to know about this. So what is your charter, what is my charter? This charter, what is your charter? The constitution itself is charter. And this is a right of every citizen, this is a privilege of the citizen. Everybody has this, and we have this preambles of this, which is a root of everything, which is a mass of the formula behind each and the personality of this country, and which is, we can say, the power of country, and constitution is the power which gives rights to everybody. There is no arbitrary action that can take place in this country, no arbitrary decision can be taken in this country. Even Supreme Court just cannot take any arbitrary decision, Prime Minister cannot take any decision as such. You have to speak, you have to give reasons, you have to give justification. Even court has to give speaking order. You have to give speaking petition. Everything should be logical in a structured way, clearly, no confusion, without ambition, no, you can say mix up. No, nothing should be in abeyance. People should write on ground. You should be on ground while designing this. That is very important. And we have to understand this because we are a logical country. You cannot say no because I am saying you do it. No, you cannot say that. You have to justify why you're asking. And there should be ground for asking. And that man is bound if that man reports to you. Bound if you report to him. That should happen. But that is not happening in political science here. Political science of country has become political abuse. Politics is a science, we know. Why it is a science? Because it is based on the system. It's not physical science like physics, chemistry, biology, or you can say nuclear physics or engineering or some other. It's not that. It is physics, that is physical sciences. This is political science. And what is science? I have explained before also. Science means to understand a system. Once you understand a system and you justify a system, and system says that yes, I am logically designed, I am working according to your understanding, and that understanding, that we can say derivation is known as science, which is understood that this, for example, we understand nature. How these planets are moving, how solar system is working, because these are working not because of us. These have been working. This had been working since beginning, since construction and development. But we didn't understand. Once we understand how we know this, that's science. Of course, it's not man's science, but you can science means the system, understanding of system. We are by conscience is there, spelling is conscience. My system is there. I understand my system. My body is working, and that is system and it is science. That's why I'm saying this constitution is a functionary equipment, is a functionary means for every citizen. This should be understood like you understand physics, you understand maths, you understand trigonometry, you understand quantum geometry, you understand each and some medical sciences you understand, and other issues, subjects you understand. Why don't you understand this as well? Because this you cannot avoid. You are forced, there is no option. In your education, there is option. You want this subject, you want that subject. Here, there is no option. You have to comply by this. Or you can avoid it. Wherever you do whatever right what is saying, people should know that everything is under law. Even if you are walking on road, you are driving on road, you are using a travel in train, you are going to bus or whatever you are doing, what you are thinking, what your examination writing, and what you business in shop, whatever activity you are doing in world, in this world of India, in Bharat, that depends upon some law provision, constitutional provision, statutory provision, delegated statutory provision, regulations, whatever is there is under that. You have to understand that. You may say, oh, what law applies on this? You are walking on the road, the law applies onto you. You are driving a car, law applies onto you. You are doing some job, law applies onto you. You are hiring someone, law applies to you. You are buying ration, law applies to you. Everywhere law applies. Nothing is free of application of law. You must realize that fact of life. As soon as you will be a happier person. That is what is required. जितना जल्दी हो जान लीजिए कि ये देश में सब कुछ संविधान के हिसाब से चल रहा है। संविधान को आप मना नहीं कर सकते। अगर कोई कहे कि संविधान क्या होता है, उस बुद्धू का मैं कुछ इलाज नहीं कर सकता। लेकिन जो थोड़ा सा दिमाग रखता है, समझदार है, पढ़ा लिखा हो या अनपढ़ हो, उसको ये समझ आना चाहिए संविधान चल रहा है। आपको समझ आए या ना आए, आपको ज्ञान हो ना हो, वो चल रहा है। आपको पासपोर्ट लेना है तो संविधान के नीचे लेना है। आपको जॉब करना है तो संविधान के नीचे करना है। आपको शादी करनी है तो संविधान के नीचे करनी है। आपको देश में रहना है तो संविधान के नीचे रहना है। आपने लाइफ में बिजनेस करना है तो भी इसी हिसाब से करना है। आपने कुछ भी करना है इस देश में, इसी हिसाब से करना होगा। आप नहीं जा सकते। आजकल हर काम में संविधान या कानून है। जितने भी नियम है इस देश में संविधान के हिसाब से हैं। संविधान एक फ्रेमवर्क है, खाली एक किताब नहीं है। संविधान खाली 395 आर्टिकल नहीं है और प्रेमल्स नहीं है। इसके अलावा भी संविधान है। हर चीज़ संविधान के हिसाब से होती है। हर चीज़ संविधान हिसाब से करना चाहिए और करनी पड़ती है। आप ये नहीं कह सकते मैं नहीं मानता। आपके मानने से देश रुकने वाला नहीं है। आप सूरज को नहीं मानते तो सूरज के निकलना बंद नहीं हो गया। लोग कहते हैं हम भगवान को नहीं मानते तो भगवान ने अपना काम करना बंद कर दिया। ऐसा नहीं है। अपनी अपनी सोच है। जिसकी अच्छी सोच है वो समझदार होता है। जिसकी सोच अच्छी नहीं है वो बस समझ नहीं सकता है। इतनी प्रॉब्लम होती है, बाकी समझता वो भी है। इसलिए हमको जानना जरूरी है कि हम आखिर है क्या कर रहे हैं, क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं। और ये जानना उन लोगों के लिए जो विद्यार्थी हैं, यूथ हैं, पढ़ चुके हैं, आगे बढ़ना है, नौकरी करनी है, जॉब करना है, बिजनेस करना है, आर्मी में जाना है, कुछ भी करना है, वो ये समझना बहुत आवश्यक है कि बिना संविधान के समझे आप कुछ समझ नहीं पाएंगे। आप बड़े वैज्ञानिक हो सकते हैं, आप बड़े सर्जन हो सकते हैं, बड़े अभियंता हो सकते हैं, बड़े चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट हो सकते हैं, बड़े मिनिस्टर हो सकते हैं, प्राइम मिनिस्टर हो सकते हैं, राष्ट्रपति हो सकते हैं। लेकिन आप मत भूलिए संविधान की शपथ खानी पड़ती है आपको कुछ भी करने से पहले। पासपोर्ट बनाने से पहले अंडरटेकिंग देनी पड़ती है संविधान की कि मेरा एलिजेंस है। इससे आपको एमपी बनने के लिए, एमएलए बनने के लिए, प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनने के लिए, राष्ट्रपति बनने के लिए, आईएएस बनने के लिए, कुछ भी बनने के लिए इसकी कसम खानी पड़ती है। आप बात को समझें या ना समझें, चाहे आप झूठी कसम खाएं, लेकिन खानी पड़ेगी, आपको खानी पड़ेगी। इस देश का संविधान है ये, इस देश का मार्गदर्शक है ये, इस देश की मंजिल है ये, इस देश का भविष्य है ये, इस देश का ग्रंथ है ये। ग्रंथ कहने के लिए है, ये ग्रंथ वास्तविकता के लिए है। इस ग्रंथ के अंदर आपको रहना होगा। जहां तक पब्लिक की अंदर रहने की बात है, जहाँ तक फैमिली के अंदर रहने की बात है, जहाँ तक आपकी व्यक्तिगत बात है, वो अलग है। संविधान कहता है आपका धर्म का रिलेशन, प्रोफेशन, आप कुछ भी कीजिए, पब्लिक को नुकसान नहीं होना है। आप कुछ भी आप बढ़ाइए अपने धर्म को आगे, कोई रोक नहीं रहा है, लेकिन पर्सनल लेवल पे फंडामेंटल राइट पर्सनल होता है, ग्रुप का नहीं होता है। अगर मेरा धार्मिक हक है पूजा पाठ करने का, तो सड़क पे खड़े होके करने का मतलब कुछ और होता है, लेकिन वो जो अधिकार है मुझे व्यक्तिगत है। मेरे भगवान से कैसे रिश्ते हों, मैं भगवान से कैसे लड़ूं, कैसे मरूं, कैसे मानूं ना मानूं, वो मेरा अधिकार है। जब तक कि किसी को दूसरे को बुरा ना लगे, मैं अपनी पूजा पाठ कैसे भी करूं मेरी मर्जी, मैं नमाज कैसे भी करूं मेरी मर्जी, वो मेरा राइट है। वो यही संविधान कहता है, फंडामेंटल राइट ऑफ प्रोफेशन ऑफ योर रिलीजन और प्रैक्टिस। आपका बिजनेस, आप कैसा काम, आप धर्म एक प्रोफेशन कहता है, वो आपने प्रोफेस किया हुआ है, मैं ऐसा ही रहूंगा जिंदगी में, इस धर्म को मानूंगा, मानिए। लेकिन जब दूसरे को आप गलत कहेंगे तो ये बात स्वीकार नहीं है। आपको कोई अधिकार नहीं है ये कहने का कि आप गलत है, मैं सही हूँ, मेरा धर्म जो है वो सही है, तुम्हारा धर्म गलत है। ऐसा कहने वाला एंटी सोशल बात करता है, एंटी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बात करता है, वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का विरोधी है, वो समाज का विरोधी है, वो दिमाग का बीमार है, उसका दिमाग खराब है, वो बात को समझ नहीं सकता, उसको समझाना पड़ता है। इसका मतलब ये भी नहीं कि उठा के जेल में भेज दो, ये मतलब नहीं होता है। या किसी ने जय श्री राम नहीं बोला, मार दो, सर फोड़ दो उसका, जान से मार दो, वो भी मतलब नहीं होता है। ऐसे लोग बेअक्ले होते हैं, मिसलेड होते हैं, उन्हें पता नहीं होता शायद वो क्या कर रहे हैं, लेकिन करते जाते हैं। लेकिन उनको भी अपनी जिंदगी से हाथ जोड़ना पड़ता है। अभी किसी को गुस्सा आया कि जय श्री राम के बारे में मारने लगा, उसने उसको एनकाउंटर किया और जय श्री राम जो कह रहा था करो उसको मार दिया। यही होता है फिर। एक्शन एंड रिएक्शन आर इक्वल एंड अपोजिट। अगर आप किसी को अन्याय करेंगे, किसी को तंग करेंगे, तो एक ना कोई मारेगा निकलेगा, आपको भी मारेगा। क्या करेंगे फिर आप? आपने उसको मारा, उसने आपको मारा, फिर दूसरे ने उसको मारा, फिर तीसरे ने उसको मारा। इस तरह तो ये सीक्वेंस बढ़ता रहेगा, खत्म नहीं हो सकता, समाप्त नहीं हो सकता। क्योंकि ना तो जय श्री राम आपके साथ खड़े, ना लोगों को आप साथ खड़े। ख्याल है, आपकी कल्पना है। किसने देखा जय श्री राम को? कहाँ देखा, किसने देखा बताइए? क्या आप त्रेता युग में थे? क्या उस टाइम आपने देखा था? एक विश्वास है, और यही तो संविधान कहता है, फेथ, बिलीफ, वही तो वो कहता है। और क्या कहता है संविधान? संविधान ये तो नहीं कहता कि हाँ मैं गारंटी कहता हूँ कि राम थे या कृष्ण थे या अल्लाह था। संविधान कहता है क्या? संविधान तो कुछ नहीं कहता। संविधान तो कहते हैं बिलीफ, विश्वास, फेथ, आप क्या सोचते हैं उसके बारे में कहता है। इसलिए आप भी तो समझिए थोड़ी सी बात को। आप क्यों इतने बेवकूफ बने जा रहे हैं? आपकी जिंदगी किसी धर्म ने नहीं दी है, आपकी जिंदगी प्रकृति ने दी है, आपकी आत्मा ने दी है, आपके माता पिता ने दी है शरीर, आत्मा दी भगवान ने। आपके माता पिता ने थोड़ा सा कर्म किया, आपका शरीर बन गया, उस शरीर में आत्मा भगवान ने आई, फिर आप पैदा हुए, आपको हवा मिली, पानी मिली, सूर्य मिला, रोशनी मिली, खाना मिला, इस देश से आप बन गए बड़े। इसलिए धर्म ने आपकी लाइफ में जो रोल किया वो एक काल्पनिक रोल है, एक बिलीफ है, एक विश्वास है। बाकी तो प्रैक्टिकल तो नेचर है। सूरज हेल्प आपकी कर रहा है, हवा हेल्प आपकी कर रही है, रोशनी हेल्प आपकी कर रही है, पानी हेल्प आपकी कर रहा है, जिसको हम कहते हैं पंच तत्व, 5 एलिमेंट। और भी बहुत से तत्व हैं जो कर रहे हैं, जो मुझे नहीं आए होंगे। आत्मा सबसे बड़ा है, जो नहीं किसी कोई कहता है होती है, कोई कहता नहीं होती है। कहते रहो, क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला है? क्या फर्क पड़ता है किसी से? आत्मा आत्मा है। आत्मा कोई धर्म नहीं होता आत्मा का। आज मेरे शरीर में कल को निकल जाएगी, मेरा नाम खत्म, मेरा शरीर खत्म। आत्मा का क्या धर्म? किसी और के में चली जाएगी। इसलिए इन बातों की बहस करने का कुछ फायदा नहीं है। जो इस बात की लड़ाई करते हैं वो बेकार है, बेवकूफ है, अनपढ़ गंवार है, उनको समझ नहीं आती सही क्या है गलत क्या है। यही मैं कहता हूँ कि खाली डिग्री लेना काफी नहीं है। लाइफ को समझना बहुत जरूरी है, प्रकृति को समझना बहुत जरूरी है। प्रकृति को समझिए, भगवान की बनाई हुई दुनिया को समझिए, अपने आप को समझिए, अपने शरीर को समझिए कि मेरा शरीर कैसे बना होगा, मेरा शरीर क्या करता है। एक फैक्ट्री अपने आप में है, शरीर पूरा सिस्टम अपने आप में है। शरीर इसको कोई इलेक्ट्रिक सप्लाई नहीं चाहिए, इसको कोई सूरज की सिस्टम चाहिए। सब मिलते हैं, 5 एलिमेंट मिलते हैं, चल रहा है। आत्मा इसके अंदर है। आत्मा नहीं आप मानेंगे क्योंकि आप विश्वास नहीं रखते, तो शरीर तो आप मानिए। इस शरीर से ही आगे शरीर बनते हैं, इन्हीं से आगे चलते हैं। जानवर के भी बनते हैं, मानव के भी बनते हैं। इसलिए संविधान क्या कहता है उसको समझिए। संविधान एक ऐसा डॉक्यूमेंट है, एक शरीर है अपने आप में, जो हमको चलाना चाहता है कि आप यहाँ रहना है इस देश में तो ऐसे चलिए, ऐसे अपना काम कीजिए, ये पावर्स आपकी है, ये कर्म आपके हैं। आप नहीं समझते तो कोई क्या करेगा इसमें? आप थोड़ा समझेंगे तो आपके लिए अच्छा है, नहीं समझेंगे तो मेरा कुछ नहीं जा रहा है, इसमें कुछ फर्क पड़ने वाला नहीं है। आप चलेंगे तो अच्छा आपको है, नहीं चलेंगे तो भी अच्छा आपको है। आप जानिए, आपका काम जानिए। अब मैं इसी बात को लेकर अब इस बात को रोकना चाहूंगा कि ज्यादा बोलने से भी फायदा नहीं है, बार बार बोलने से फायदा नहीं है। संविधान तो आपका मानना पड़ेगा, पड़ेगा, आप मना कर नहीं सकते इसको, ये देश का कानून है, नियम है। अगर आपको नहीं मानना तो आप अपना नुकसान करेंगे, मेरा नुकसान नहीं करेंगे। आप एक अच्छे नागरिक नहीं बन सकते इस देश के। आप इस देश की एक अच्छा विश्वास आपके अंदर नहीं होगा, जैसा होता है देश की, मेरा देश है, मेरी जमीन है, मैं सबका हूँ, इस देश का हूँ, ये देश मेरा है। आपके अंदर वो आत्मा डेवलप नहीं होगी जो होनी चाहिए थी। तो ये संविधान अपने आप में एक आत्मा की प्रॉपर्टी बनाता है आपके अंदर, आपको बताता है कि आपको किस तरह से कंडक्ट करना है, किस तरह से पेश आना है इस देश में, लोगों के सामने, अपने परिवार के सामने, अपने पूरे कर्मों के सामने, सब कुछ कर रहे हैं आपको, ये बताता है आपका संविधान। इसलिए आपको ये समझना बहुत आवश्यक है। अब इसी बात को लेकर मैं इसको आगे बंद करता हूँ, कल फिर बात करेंगे आपसे। जय भारत, जय भारत एंड जय भारत, जय संविधान। ये है मेरा देश।